How's it going today, guys? I'm Dustin with Harkers Racing, and today we're going to be changing the transmission fluid in a T5 transmission. Now, sitting behind me is our dirt circle track truck, which utilizes a Ford 2.3 liter Lima engine. They call it the Lima engine because it's designed and built at the Lima Ford motor plant in Lima, Ohio, which I happen to live up the road from. Unfortunately, I don't have all the secrets to make that engine go any faster than anyone else, right? But bolted to our 2.3 liter, we have a T5 transmission. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to get under there. I'm going to show you where the drain points are, where the fill points are, and how easy it is to do. Step one before you ever drain your transmission is probably make sure it cools down. Transmission fluids get a little hot. It's not something you want to do right when you pull in. And you also need to crawl back there underneath your exhaust if your exhaust is routed, especially in the stock method. So you want to make sure that your vehicle has cooled down. Okay. Step two, you need to have it on a level surface. Now, when I say level surface, I mean it would be great if I had a leveled like race car weight 100% zero leveled surface. That would be great. But the big thing is make sure you're not on a hill. You can't jack the dang thing up, which would make it a whole lot easier to work on. If you do have to jack it up, make sure that you get 4 jack stands, put one on each corner at the same height, nothing's digging into the ground. But ultimately it needs to be relatively level surface, and this works sitting on the ground if you can get under there and reach it. So let's get under there and see where we're talking about. Alright, so I'm going to show you from standing up so that way you know exactly where you're going to go. Obviously ours is a little different, but you'll get the point. So we're going to go under here. Obviously we have our crossbar in the way, but if you look underneath here, there's even a sign that says, where's my finger on the thing? Drain and fill line. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a pan underneath where it says drain, and we're going to drain that fluid out. Then you need to put that lower bolt back in, and then you're going to take off your top fill bolt up there, that one right there. And you're going to have to use some sort of a bottle with an attachment, or a pump, or stick a hose to the end. I'll show you a couple different ways to fill into that hole up there until it starts to come out a little bit, and then stop. Then you're done. It's exactly where you need to be. Put the bolts back in, and then you're good to go. Alright, so we're back in our race trailer, coming over to our little oils area here. We need to grab, oops, right here on the end, ATF. So, T5 transmissions use automatic transmission fluid. It's technically a Dex Merc or Dextron 6 or Mercon, depending what brand you buy. Okay, but that does use an automatic transmission fluid. Big difference between the different transmission fluids are going to be additives, such as cleaners or anti-foam, or different things like that. So I'm going to be using Valvoline. As you can see, I like Valvoline. Just years of use, I've never had an issue with them. So I'm going to be using Valvoline in there. But, this bottle right here is going to be real hard to fill it with, right? That is hilarious. Alright, so why do I think it's hilarious? Because usually I don't buy things like this. But there is a specific top that'll go on this you can buy from almost any store that has a little rubber hose on it, and it'll screw onto here, and you can dump this, squeeze it, whatever you want to do. Now I just use, like, this is a diesel little can that I use it in my Cummins. Obviously I leak diesel or leak oil in my Cummins, right? So what I'll do is I'll empty this out, I'll fill it with the ATF, and then I'll use that to fill it. That's one way to do it. And I usually don't buy those funnels, and I just bought one and I already lost it, and that's why it's funny. Another way you can do it, and what I'm going to do is, well, since it's so easily accessible for me, I'm going to pop my shifter off, and we're going to fill it from the top. The big thing with doing that is you can't see under the vehicle, so you're going to waste some, but for me that's okay. That's why I bought that giant jug. So I'm going to crack that lower, drain it out, clog it up, open my top, start filling it from the top, and then check underneath it every once in a while to see when it's starting to drain out the bottom. Some things you can remember before you start doing this, okay? Too low of oil will cause it to either not circulate or things to overheat, and it will cause damage because of lack of oiling. Too much oil could cause it to foam or begin to bubble, or all sorts of weird issues that you don't think about. Don't overfill your oil. It needs to be where it needs to be. So that's what I'm going to do. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, but it really is that simple. Drain it, clog it off, open the top, fill it. When it starts to overflow, let it even out, clog it back up, make sure everything's sealed, make sure it's not leaking, and you should change this often. There is a misconception, there is a rumor that you shouldn't change your transmission fluid because it will cause issues or cause issues to appear. No, the only way that would ever happen is if you have like a gunk buildup in your engine, or you have other issues, underlying issues that aren't showing themselves, that are appearing when you clean it. And if you have that, then you have issues in your transmission that need repaired, okay? There's no Band-Aid to this. There's no additives that are going to help you, whatever. Change your transmission fluid. If you have issues with your transmission, repair them. That's it, okay? So I'm Dustin with Hard Cruise Racing. I hope this helped anyone who had questions about refilling a transmission. This is specifically for the T5, but it does work the exact same way on a bunch of other transmissions, okay? Get out there, build cool things. If you like this video, subscribe. We have lots of stuff we're always doing, like finishing this race list in 2 days. So get out there, have fun, and most importantly, have a good day. I found it. Here's that specialty little piece I was talking about, guys. This little floop-a-doop, okay? It screws onto the top of here. Well, there's a bunch of different attachments that you can use it with. But if you took this white part out, then you can take this piece, and it'll go right over top of your bottle like this, and then you can just squeeze it, or you can flip it upside down and squeeze it, or whatever you want to do. Alright, but that's the piece I was talking about. The other thing is you can pop this off, pop that off, and then go get you another piece of tubing. Where's my tubing? Anyways, go get you another piece of tubing like this, and then you can run it as far as you want to run it. That's that little specialty thing I was looking for. But the video's already made, and it's in there getting edited, so